Lloyd, you are a great friend, and I see congratulations on a mega way for this wonderful institute that you've created. I mean, I believe that the Filipinos have a care gene, but I also now think they have a public speaking gene. So good. I mean, everybody that's been speaking right now has just been fantastic. So congratulations, everybody. Yay. And you have congratulations on your certification. I mean, this is a great place, and this is a great moment for you. And this happens to be the Olympics that started now, right? Yesterday. So I would like to just bring a quote, which I believe is really important here, and it applies to you, every single one of you. And Pierre de Coubertin, who formed the modern Olympics in 1896. And he said the most important thing in the Olympic Games is not to win, but to take part. Just as the most important thing in life is not the triumph, but the struggle. So you have been through 9 days of struggling in some ways to find your voices, to find your how to speak, how to structure, how to do all sorts of beautiful things. And each one of you, I give you an Olympic gold medal. Yay! And what do you say to that? Woo! Thumbs up?
Woo-hoo! Yeah.
Yay!
How do we get it? How do we get it? Do you send it?
How, Sir Kevin?
Well, in actual fact, it's chocolate in between, and he's just playing it around. But no, you all have Olympic medals for just being there and doing this. So congratulations. So when I was asked last night to speak today, I was thinking about what was it I'm going to say, because Lloyd said something about your journey. So let me share with you a little bit about my journey, which is long and vast, as you can see from my wrinkles and everything like that. But none of you have any wrinkles, so you must either be doing Botox or you have great genes. So I would like to share with you that I think that today is a very important time for all of you to speak. The reason I say that is we've been through a lot of crap and still going through a lot of crap with COVID, politics, all sorts of things. And your voices are so important to help everybody make a difference in their lives, but also that's what we do. We want to share. We want to be able to make a difference. So when I started my journey, which was about 15 to 16 years ago, I had come out of doing elite sport and also as a choreographer and also doing mega productions as a choreographer and director. And that was interesting. And I was also a filmmaker as well. And I did a variety of transitions in my life. And I think that that's really what's helped me move on to a variety of different other challenges and excitements at the same time. And one of the things that I did was I became a coach when I was living in Brussels. And then I thought, and a trainer, and I thought, well, if I'm going to train, I need to be able to speak. I need to be able to stand in front of people. And I was not good at all because I get very nervous about speaking, actually. And so I went to Toastmasters. And at that time, there wasn't the certification program here at Lloyd's. And so consequently, what I did was I went and I studied and I did all of those programs and all of the different workshops and everything that I could do. And I even went to competitions. And that was exciting because it really got me in front of people. And it's all about practice. Everything's about practice. Just like an Olympic athlete, it's about practice. It's about practice. It's about training. Constantly reworking, relooking at your speeches and constantly honing your craft, because it is a craft. It's not just a profession, it's a craft. And a craft is like an art. And so that's very, very important for us to think about this as artists. We're all artists. Even if you're a scientist or you're not, but we're all artists in science as well. So I did that, and then that's what was very important to me. So I wrote my first book, which was called Aha Mother's Pearls. And then I continued on my journey of speaking, and I took up speaking much more fully when I moved to Singapore, because I then joined the Asia Professional Speaker Singapore. And that's when I found out and I met Lloyd a few more years ago. And my goodness, a powerhouse in the Philippines. Wow. And I visited the Philippines the first time, way before any of you were born, in 1973. Yes, 1973. Amazing. And my last time was just 2 years ago in 2000, or 3 years ago in 2019. So there was a big space in between. I have to say, Manila doesn't look the same as it did in 1973. But anyway, my speaking career took me to a variety of different places in the Middle East. It took me into Europe. It took me also here. And now we're virtually, so we're everywhere globally. And I think that that's a great achievement. But I think also it's so nice to be in person, you know, and to be able to feel the energy of a crowd inside. And that is one thing that I miss terribly. But I think one of the things that happened for me was I was looking for a subject matter to speak on, because I think I was losing the oomph. I was losing my interest. I was losing that. And I think that we need to find new subjects every so often to give us that impetus, to give us that strength, to be able to use our craft in a different way. But it has to come from a deeper sense of being, not just somebody gives you an idea. No, you've got to live it. You've got to feel it in your bones, in your genes, everything. So I gave myself the title and a brand, the Global Nomad. And at some point, I was going to have a mentor. And I loved the point that I got on a mentor, and his name is Frederick Herron, a really incredible conference speaker, global. He's spoken everywhere in the world. And I feel really lucky to have had him as a mentor. So I went to one of his sessions, which is called a theme session, inner theme session, because I was looking for my theme. And he said, we started to talk, you know, and he asked me, what is this global nomad? I don't understand it. Tell me what is this? What is it? But mostly he says, I'm not interested in the global because I'm already global. He said, I want to know about nomad. And I said, well, I'm not just nomad. I'm totally mad. But I mean, so he said, and he looked it up in the dictionary, what it means. And so it started to build in me this inner theme. He started to ask me questions like a good coach and a great mentor. And he started to say, what is it? And I started to find out more information about what is a nomad. And he said, you know, if you're going to speak on a subject, you need to write a book. So folks, you got to write a book. But you got to write a book about something that you really love. Just like Lloyd has, and he's nomad. And I tell you, he's just mad. So just so you know that completely. And I can't wait to go to the rice fields with him one day when we can travel, because I would love it very much. Right, Lloyd?
Indeed.
So anyway, what happened was he said, you're going to have to write a book. And he said, you're going to have to research. But he said, what would the name of the book be? And as you can see behind me, that's what the book became. It's the nomadic mindset. But the tag after that is never settle for too long. So Mike, you need to never settle for too long in your speaking development and also your subjects. Never settle for too long. Settle long enough to learn, but never settle for too long. Keep growing. So anyway, what happened was he said, you need to research. And I went, oh, great. And he says, you need to go and visit 3 nomadic tribes in the world. What are they? I went, oh. I said, can I just do this on Google and go to the library? And he said, no. You need stories. You need to live with them. You need to eat with them. You need to have conversations. You need to observe them. You need to watch them. You need to find out everything about them. Why? Because then it becomes real. From a book, it's not real. It's not really real. You need to get into the land, into the people, just like any culture. That's what I loved about going to the Philippines. It was the people, the culture, the people of the earth. And that's what's important. And then he said, you need to have a conversation with at least 100 executives because it's a leadership book. And I went, okay, that's okay. And I can do that. So anyway, I got really frightened, really frightened. And I thought, we spoke for a month about this. And he said, you don't believe me, do you? That this is a great subject. I said, well, yeah, I believe you. He said, no, you don't believe me. He said, I've never heard anyone speak on this subject in the world, and I've been around. And I said, yeah, okay. But then he said, if you don't do this within 1 year, I'm taking it because I love the subject. that was the competitive in me, the Olympic competitive in me. I said, no bloody way, I'm going to do this. So I took on. I just went then. But that was the impetus I needed. He knew that deep inside of himself. And that's what Lloyd is giving you as well in this training, is this impetus, this fire to speak and speak well. And you're already speaking well, but you find the subject. And as Shannon was saying, the beautiful emotions behind the subjects. So I went on my journey. And I want to share with you one quote that I got from a Maasai warrior. So I went to Mongolia, first of all. I also then went to the Maasai, to Kenya, and I spent time with the Maasai warriors, which are very historic and very world-renowned. These warriors that have cut ears and long earrings and lots of beading. They wear shukas, red dresses, the men, and they're tall and they're lean and they're the long walkers. They walk for miles and miles and miles. And then I also spent time in Morocco, in the Sahara, deep in the Sahara with the Berbers. It was so exciting. But one of them said to me, the Mana Maasai, when I was talking to him about migration, he said, we are migrating as a tribe. Where we were is not where we are evolving. And I believe this is a great, great quote for you right now. Where you were before the course, where you are now, but where are you evolving to? This quote is your migration. You are moving. You are moving to a new place, to a new inspiration, to new messages, to new voices. This is your evolution. Lloyd put that fire of evolution inside of you. So take it, because it can go out, but there's always a little ember, and that's where the fire came back from, a nomadic mindset. So it can come back. But that was the interesting part, so I think that one of the things that we need to do is find stories, but we need to evolve. So then when I was in Mongolia, one of the ways that we can evolve, I was sitting with a young girl at the university. She's a university student, 24. She said, I really long to be in the Mongolian steppes. She says, this is where freedom is. This is where life is difficult, but it's agile and free, and you're adaptive to the climate changes and the expansiveness, what it does for you. And she said, she says, nomads think vastly and act narrowly. So for you in your speaking, that thinking vastly, that expansion, you need to feel it inside of yourself. Feel your heart open more than what it is. Feel your ideas open. See the landscape of all the possibilities, the ideas, the past, all of these things and opportunities that can happen for you. Find the seeds. Never forget the seeds. A seed, that's an idea. Oh, that's a seed of an idea. Explore. This is what expansion is. And then when you've got that, narrow in and start focusing in on what it is. But then every so often go wide so that you can explore more, and then narrow. Just like an elastic band. A dance. And I know that you like to sing as well. So just feel that it's a song, the rhythm as well. This is you as a speaker, is to think vastly and act narrowly. Think vastly, act narrowly. Expansion is what we do. When you get on a stage or when you are here, you're speaking, the audience is on the other side and we don't know necessarily what's in their mind. But we're there for them to get in at any sort of level that they can. When I used to do choreography for very large productions, I used to think about my audience. And I used to think about my producers would always say, you need to do what the audience says. And our audience only knows this. And I said, that's very narrow. Your audience knows a lot more, but you're not letting them know more. because you give them the same old show every year, same old stuff. No, you're not letting them grow. So when you speak, you need to allow them to be expanded. You, in many ways, are coaching. You are coaching them to go wide by your questions, by your stories. That's what you're doing. But through that width, they may go, oh, I've learned something new. I didn't know that before. But if you just only give them what they want, that's it. End of line. Basta. Boring. So when I did productions, I always used to look, okay, so this is what they want, but I'm just going to smatter that in. But I'm just going to do what I feel like doing. And I'm going to give them ways to get in with the music, with the lighting, with the costumes, with the type of skating, with the rhythms, all of this. And when you speak, that's exactly what you're doing. You're choreographing. You're creating a speech. You're finding different rhythms. You're finding your voice in a different rhythm. You're finding a new dance for them to dance. You're finding another voice that they can sing. And you know, Filipinos love to sing and have incredible voices. You're born performers. That's the whole thing. You know, I wish. So fantastic on that. So you're already ahead. But the point here is, let them get in at any level that they can. And allow them. Give them permission to go and to learn. By the way you speak, the words you use, the color, the phrases, the dynamics. So where I am today is right here in front of you. I continue to do my work, but my focus really now is more about coaching. And my focus now is also about collecting all of my body of knowledge over my years, multiple years, which, you know, Sergeant Lloyd started to say that I have multiple years, and yes, I have. And so consequently is putting that into online courses, and that's what I'm doing now. But that's another voice, right? That's another way of speaking. So there's multiple ways that we can use our voices, and that is for you to find out. There's one also quote that I want to leave you with. And I'll send these quotes to Lloyd, and he can share them with you if you wish. But it's by a woman by the name of Martha Graham. And Martha Graham happened to be one of the most innovators, one of the earliest innovators of contemporary dance back in the early 1900s. And she did a technique called the Martha Graham technique. It was very angst and I couldn't do it because you needed to have a body that was very flexible and very open and very wide, very expansive. Mine was not at that time. But anyway, she says this quote, and let me leave this with you because this is the most important part of my talk today. There is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in this lifetime, this expression is unique. The word that I want you to think about is unique. Every one of you has a uniqueness, and it's about finding what that uniqueness is living that uniqueness and choosing your voice and your way of distribution of this to help people make a difference in their lives, but also in a greater world. It is your dharma, your duty, to show your uniqueness, to live your uniqueness, and to be your uniqueness as a speaker. So uniqueness is sometimes difficult. We say, I don't know what I'm unique at. Then ask others that you trust, what am I unique at? What do you see in me? Why am I so unique? People may say, oh, you're not unique. But that's not true. Every single one of us, as Martha says, has a voice. and is unique. Just as she would know because she was a dancer and a choreographer, and she would use those bodies which were unique, each one, and their voices were unique. It's not the two the same. Just like every one of you here is very different. But it's about finding that and living that. So I want to leave you with that, is be your uniqueness, think vastly, act narrowly. You are migrating. Where you were is not where you are evolving. And also, you are an Olympian. It is your job to just take part and be. Let everybody else do the rest. Thank you so much.